The arguments are over, the evidence presented, and now Hunter Biden's future will be decided by 12 people he has never met before. The government has accused the president's son of lying on a federal form, checking a box to claim he was not an active drug user in order to purchase a gun. Hunter Biden has pleaded not guilty to the charges. U.S. Attorney Leo Wise summing up the government's case by arguing that it goes beyond a reasonable doubt to assume that Hunter was using drugs based on the evidence they presented. The evidence was personal, it was ugly, it was overwhelming, Wise said. It was also absolutely necessary. Wise pointing to the gallery filled with close members of the Biden family, including First Lady Jill Biden, and reminding the jury that they have nothing to do with the evidence presented. No one is above the law, he said. But defense attorney Abby Lowell countering that the prosecution focused far too much on his drug abuse over the entire 4-year period and failed to provide direct evidence he was using during the window of time that he purchased the gun. When you got to 2018, what was missing, he asked, noting that no one witnessed Hunter's drug use during that time. No pipes, no scales, no drugs, not even alcohol, he said, referencing the testimony of Hunter Biden's ex-romantic partner, Zoe Keston. It's now up to the jury to decide, with all 3 of these counts carrying the possibility of jail time if Hunter is convicted.
And regardless of what the jury decides in this case, it will not be the end of Hunter Biden's legal problems. He is scheduled to face trial for tax evasion in another federal criminal court this fall. Savannah?
All right, Brian Nobles, thank you so much. I want to turn now to our legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. Laura, good morning. So, this was a relatively short case. It's a relatively straightforward case. What are the prosecution's best arguments, and what does the defense have to work with?
Well, the defense the entire time has been saying there's no direct evidence that he was using drugs on the day in question when he purchased the gun. And that would be what would make the false statement, right? Saying that you were not an unlawful user when you were using drugs. And they say there's no direct evidence. But just yesterday, the jury learned they don't have to actually, this is why the jury instructions are so important. They learned they don't actually have to find that he was using on that exact day in question. As long as he was addicted to a controlled substance, an unlawful user in that time period, they don't have to pin it down with that much specificity. And that could be a real boost to the prosecution.
It's pretty unusual that you would have this charge, it's a false statement to a federal gun dealer, false statement on a paper, standing alone with nothing else. So what are the potential penalties here?
It's significant. This potential penalty is up to 10 years in prison if he's convicted in this case. Now, he does not have a past criminal history, and the judge doesn't have to sentence him to that 10 years. She could do something far shorter than that. But it does show the significance of it, and it does speak to why we thought this would be accomplished in a plea deal so long ago, given what he's facing. He could have pled guilty and faced no jail time.
Well, let's just back up for a minute, because it fell apart. He had this plea deal to get rid of this charge, to have plea to a lesser charge on these tax cases, which are coming up actually in September. There's a tax case. Yeah. He's going to face trial again. But that fell apart, and that's how we're here today.
Yeah, and it could be the reason why he didn't want to testify. There have been some speculation about whether he would take the stand. Given that tax case, he would be opening himself up to cross-examination on all of that, and it may just not have been worth the risk. So we'll see where it goes today.
All right, Laura, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.